was like I was waking into a dream. But someone else's dream where none of it is real, none of it's yours. Just a feeling of being so lost that no amount of waking will change it. I could remember nothing else before that point. After I gave up asking myself who I was, I started to wonder if I was homeless, you know? Maybe this was my life. Then the clues started to come like fragments dropping into place. Tiny shards of memories. Just slivers.
Are you sure about this?
DNA of blood on a necklace in his pocket matches hers. What else do you want?
No. I mean, are you sure you can handle this?
Are you questioning me?
I don't want you to make the same mistake again.
It's in the past.
Really appreciate your help. But when are we going to get to the bit about you helping me find my daughter?
Metropolitan Police. You're not here so we can help you. You're here because you're under suspicion of the murder of your daughter, Jessica Richards.
What? This is ridiculous.
Is it? You want to tell me what you did before you woke up on that park bench?
I wish I could.
You know what I do to things like you? I crush them. Like insects.
If you could just help.
Do you know how close they say you are to the nearest spider? It's 2 meters. But you don't always see them, do you? But I see you, Sean Richards.
Arachnids.
What?
Spiders aren't insects, they're arachnids.
Do you mean to agitate me intentionally? A girl goes missing. Gone a week. Turns out her father is missing too. Now we search every inch of Hampstead and the Heath, from Whitestone Pond to Southend Green, and then you show up and claim you know nothing. What would you think, Mr. Richards? Now, you tell me, what do you remember about the last time you saw her?
Can't you not?
Why? Am I not surprised? You couldn't hear it the other 3 times either. Tonight is off.
No! No, not this party. You know I need to go.
Your last time was your last warning.
What, just because your teenagers didn't pan out the way you wanted them to, now you've got to ruin mine? Can't you just leave me alone?
Fine. Suit yourself. Either way, you're grounded.
It never used to be like this.
What are you leaving out?
Nothing. Nothing.
Nothing. If there's one thing I know, it's when I smell a lie. Now I've given you the opportunity to come clean, nicely. The next time I have to walk through those doors, well, let's just say you're going to see a different side of me.
Who are you?
Your best friend, Marcus. Sean, don't you remember?
Look, I don't know who you are, but I need to find my daughter.
I went over to your house this morning. It seemed like it was just after you were paid a visit by the police. They're taped up everywhere. Told me to come down the station. I've been waiting for hours and suddenly they said to come in and speak with you, so here I am. They say you don't remember anything.
If you're my friend, how long have I known you for?
About 10 years. Well, we drink together, sometimes at the Horseshoe, but mainly at the Flask. Do you remember we sit by the window?
No, it's not that.
Where we speak about life's problems, you know, what it was like growing up.
Must have been boring.
Quite the opposite. You had teenage years unlike any other. Different to mine. Private school. A million miles from here. Dull stuff. But you. The stories you told me, if I didn't know you, I'd say they were make-believe.
Can I trust you?
Yeah.
Why would I have this in my pocket?
Wow. A relic of the past. What are you doing carrying that around?
found something.
Rupert, this better be good. Do you know what time you woke me up this morning to come here?
We always meet here. Plus, this couldn't wait.
Is it like the one about the hidden treasure or the dragon in the heat?
Shh! Last night, my dad was moving some things around our basement, and I found this chest. And inside, there was this. Oh man, this is so sterile.
What?
Sterile. It's the new cool word.
No, it's not.
So good, it's so clean, it's sterile.
Like a hospital.
Soon everybody's going to be saying it.
This is 1989, Rupert. You need to get with the times.
The New York Society of Subterranean Exploration and Temporal Irregularities. Careful.
This is great, but what's New York got to do with us?
Graham Jeremiah Hollyvale and Herbert Isaac Leithard found a time portal at the base of Brooklyn Bridge, but before they could use it, authorities shut it in. And 19 years later, in 1907, they came to Hampstead, London, continuing their quest.
Why here?
The map shows a temporal irregularity on a crest 4 miles northwest of Londinium. Right where we are, Sean. In Hampstead.
19 years is a long time to wait.
It's the year the underground station opened. Well, don't you see, they thought they'd found their way in. It says here, to journey across the fabric of time, take the stone to the fifth arch and rewind. We're going to another world. To another time.
Come on. What's not to say these guys weren't crackpots? Even if this did exist, where would you find the stone? You had that all the time, and you showed me the book.
Look, that's the coolest part. That's where the science is.
My mum was right. Here are we.
These guys were true time-travelling scientists just like us. But can't you see how exciting this is? 4 arches leading off the 2 main platforms. The 5th arch has to lead from there. That's exactly where we're going.
We?
Good. Friday night it is. Look, I've got to go because I'll be late for the astronomy meet at the observatory.
I'm not so sure about this.
Trust me, I'm a scientist.
Then I saw the bookstore. Then something struck me. I hadn't just been there to buy books. And I don't know how I knew where to go. But one book in particular called my name. I grew up long ago. You promised not to. I couldn't help it. Peter Pan. Then I had an idea. Have you got any idea how many orange doors there are in Hampstead? None, except for one. I just had to find it.
Counting back through the 1980s over the next few hours as we remember a bygone era and the music that shaped us 40 years on. But next we have author Ethan Evans on the show as he talks with us about his new book, The Eden Prescription. After distilling down thousands of research studies from around the globe, he's convinced we can reduce cancer risk by 50 to even 70% if we eat enough of the right foods. As well as our interview with the author, we'll let you know how you can win a copy of his new book on social media. That's Ethan Evans and The Eden Prescription. Up next.
Happy birthday, Dad! I wanted to make you this because you've never had anyone to make you a video before. But I am not the documentary filmmaker like you, so bear with me. Life hasn't always been easy, but you kept making good decisions no matter what came your way. And your best decision, I like to think, was adopting me. That and this necklace. My favourite thing in the world. I'll always remember the night you gave it to me. After my 11th birthday party in Tinseltown. When I first met you, I was little and smelly and I think I needed a lot more help than you were expecting. I was so vulnerable and I needed a dad more than anything else in the world. And it didn't matter that there wasn't a mum. I'm sure it would have been nice, but you made up for it. You more than made up for it. And it isn't your fault, you know. You just haven't met the right person yet. Growing up, it was the small things that were the most fun. Like leaving notes for each other in Peter Pan. We never did find the second star to the right, but that didn't stop us from trying. And thank you for all of those birthday cakes that you had no idea how to make, but you made them anyway. Thank you for getting up for me in the middle of the night and picking me up when I fell. But most of all, thank you for choosing me. Thank you for being my dad. Congratulations, you're really old now. Happy birthday!
February. Still not a day passes when I don't wonder why Dad left me and Mum when I was 6 months. guess one day I'll stop wondering. But today is not that day. It's sucked. And I know that if he were here, it would all be better. Maybe one day Mom will really tell me the truth. If she ever gets sober. Still have only that one thing I own that's from him. My half Nelson. I still have no idea how the rest of him looks like. Like my dad. But I know one day I will find out. Until that day, it is just survival. Like today. Like every day. Today was different. The first time I can remember feeling safe. Brett is so cool. The best bit is, he's making me cool. But he's got his own interests. Only got one interest. That is Nelly. Oh wow. How I would love to go out with her. Brett would be the kind of guy that could go out with her. But he's not interested. Apparently I shouldn't be either. As much as Brett has helped me, I wish I could tell him to back off. I need him. And I think he knows it. Then suddenly Brett wasn't the only friend I had in the world. This new guy Rupert moved in down the street. He likes all the same things, all the nerdy things Brett hates. Okay, so Rupert can be a bit obsessive with his crazy ideas of hidden tunnels, time travels, and whatever else he comes up with. But he's cool in his own way. In my kind of way.
But yesterday things started to get bad. The 3rd of May, 1989. I will never forget as long as I live. Hampstead Underground will forever...
Metropolitan Police.
Wow. A relic of the past. What are you doing carrying that around?
Did I ever mention it, Brett?
You did.
Was I always friends with him?
Until this other guy came along, Reginald Rufus, no, hold on, it was Rupert. Then things changed.
Like what?
There was an accident. Around the end of high school. On the Hansard platform. You always blamed yourself for not standing up to Brett. Brett was trying to teach him a lesson.
For what?
For being a nerd. For liking tech and all these mysterious things, you reckoned. And Brett hated all that stuff, and he hated it that you both loved it. He didn't mean to do it, you said. Just made a colossal mistake. Played poker with someone's life and lost big time.
So he killed him. He said mysterious stuff. Like what?
I don't know. He told me one night over a beer. I mean, it's good I can remember this much, isn't it?
Come on. Just try to remember. Try. Was it just tech?
No. Weird things. Other dimensional. Stuff that didn't make sense. Stuff like...
Time travel.
Where did you get that?
Was also in my pocket when I woke up.
You're needed.
I'm sick of this mumbo jumbo. If you can't get a clue or a confession out of him, I'm listing you as an accomplice.
He's innocent. Just give me more time.
You got 10 minutes.
What's the last thing you remember?
There was a storm.
A storm outside.
No. I was outside. I was lost. I was trying to get back.
What does it say in the notebook?
Via what? This is useless. Call him in. Let's get this over and done with.
Wait. If Jessica is 17, what year was she born?
2003.
Then how do you explain this?
This can't be. 1989. She wasn't even born yet.
Unless you travel back in time.
Tried to put love in her eyes. I used to smile when I passed through time to see you. I try to push my feelings away. I don't know if I'll ever stay.
Of all the guys, and you have to go for Brett Worthing.
Oh, but don't you think that...
I still can't believe that my dad came back. After all these years. And to think I've got a sister too, you know, I never even knew about it. I mean double bonus. It's so sterile.
Sterile?
Yeah, that's the new cool word. See your answers.
You guys were really weird in the 80s. I still can't get any signal.
You keep that out of sight.
But if there was no signal in the 80s, then how did anyone text you?
They didn't.
Figures.
Don't worry, as soon as I can work out how to get us back, you can forget all about your fixation of trying to text him. You're double grounded. That's mine for now, remember?
That is so unfair. You didn't mind me showing you how to work the torch on your phone when we were stuck in that time tunnel, did you? Dad! When have you had any problems with me and boys? I finally found someone that I like. What's so wrong with that?
Believe me, I'm doing you a favour.
What is it with you? What could you possibly know about him?
Plenty, unfortunately.
You'd say anything. At least he's not pretending to be someone he isn't.
Look, when he thought I was his dad, I didn't have the heart to say that I wasn't. I know what it's like to live my life as him. Wanting your dad and wishing he'll walk through the door one day, and he never does. You would have done the same thing as me today if you'd lived the same life I had.
You're playing dad to yourself. Was I not enough to control?
You are not seeing Brett.
Do I need to have a chat with your son?
You wouldn't. You know that scene in Madagascar we used to watch when you were younger, the one where Alex the lion is running after the zebra and all he can see is that big juicy steak?
Yeah.
So, Brett, you literally are the steak, all right? In his eyes, you're a piece of meat, and you will never be anything else in his eyes other than a piece of meat.
Nice, Dad.
Sid, what's wrong?
Nothing. I'm going to bed. Looks like you used to know how to be sympathetic.
Emotions, you know. I think you're a reminder of when I was younger, when she was little.
Oh yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Women.
Women.
£18 for a pizza? That's extortion.
Some people. Looks like the whole world is hungry, eh? Hey, you want some ice cream?
Yeah, have you got any peanut butter?
Yeah, probably. Then do you want some ice cream?
Yeah, it's my favourite flavour. Ice cream.
Got vanilla and vanilla. And that?
This place hurt. My dad used to get me this all the time when I was younger. In Tinseltown.
Tinsel. Tinsel what? Where do you say you're from?
Too far away, I guess. I think it must be great having the freedom of your mum being away. Does she do that a lot?
No. She does it all the time. What's good about it?
If I ever have kids, I'm letting them do whatever they like.
Actually, I always wanted Dad to give me some guidance, tell me what to do. Hasn't it been good?
He's just so protective.
Well, I wouldn't mind a bit of protection.
When I was younger, he was so overprotective that he enrolled me in karate. So that's my main memory of getting ice cream after lessons and tournaments and stuff. He even learned a few moves so I could practice on him.
Well, better watch myself then, eh? Well, I hope that it helps me sleep. Going to bed, sis. See you tomorrow.
Hello?
Hi, Brett. It's Jessica.
Hey. No, I'm glad you called. So, you ain't forgotten about me then?
No, I was just calling because we didn't really get the chance to talk the other day.
Nah, it's alright. Hey, how about I take you out next Friday night?
Yeah, definitely. That would be great. Yeah, I have to go. But I'll see you soon.
Okay, looking forward to it.
All yours.
Hi, you alright?
Yeah, sorry, I was just tired.
Let me guess. Couldn't find the one thing you needed?
How could you tell?
So, what is it you're shopping for?
You know, a date. And I know people say all the time that they have nothing to wear, but trust me, I actually have nothing to wear.
Don't worry, I can't afford to shop here either. Part of why I work here any hours I can is the discounts. That's and until I can get my own line up and running.
You're starting your own fashion line?
Yeah, I know, it's
No, not at all. Don't listen to anyone that says that. That's the coolest thing I've heard in ages.
About that date, I know exactly what would look absolutely amazing on you. That is, if you'd be happy.
Absolutely. Like I'm gonna pass up that opportunity. When do we start? Future famous fashion designer?
Where is everyone?
Mum's in the kitchen, making food for Dad.
And you just spend a lot of time in there.
Yeah, well, it is her job. My wife would do the same. Anyway, what are you doing later tonight?
Going to Rupert's.
Not doing more dweeby stuff.
Actually, he's got this new cool computer program.
Oh, really? That sounds exciting.
Check out this article.
A nerd magazine. Look what he's doing to you. Huh? You were just starting to get cool.
Hey, what do you think of Madison?
Madison? Alright, her now. Forget about her, mate.
Guess you've been busy ogling my sister.
You know what? Maybe if you spent less time hanging around with that loser Rupert, you might actually be cool enough to ask out someone like Madison. Even then, she's probably not even worth it. Although she might be, for someone like you.
You shouldn't say.
You shouldn't say what? Huh? Shouldn't say what? You're all nerds.
I just don't think you should speak that way about people.
It's quite simple, Sean. Do you want to be cool? Or not?
Not as bothered as you.
Like I couldn't have guessed.
You're another thing. I'm not so sure if Jessica's the right kind of girl for you.
I'm sorry, what?
She's my sister after all. It's like you want a piece of everything in my life.
Do not get in my way. Alright? I mean, you owe me. Yeah, you owe me.
I'm tired of you bullying me into feeling I need you as a friend.
What about those football tickets? Huh?
I've always been grateful, but you can't buy me.
You need to be a little bit more grateful than that.
I don't need your approval to feel okay, Brett.
Yes, you do. Now say it. Say it!
You heard me the first time.
Oh, by the way, I'm Madison.
Nice to meet you, I'm Jessica.
Must be another Jessica Richards.
It's not.
How would you know?
Because I remember, Sean, because I was there.
We're going to another world. To another time.
We.
Good. Friday night it is.
Friday night. Hey, how about I take you out next Friday night?
Yeah, definitely.
4 arches leading off the 2 main platforms The fifth arch has to lead from there.
I'm not so sure about this.
Trust me, I'm a scientist.
Hey, maybe we should go into the West End. Hey, just wait there. I'll be back in a minute.
You're lying. How did you even know about this grave?
Because I killed her, Sean. I killed her.
Impossible.
Sean. I am Brett.
Try and take Sean away from me? Huh? You will be nothing but a loser.
Killed my daughter! Don't waste your time on me. There's still time to save her and I can prove it.
How? By showing me a grave? Do you want me to see a grave?
This is only her grave in the present. You can still go back to that week in 1989 and reverse all this. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I'm sorry. I can't bring Jessica back. But you can. Yeah. Take this. It's all I've got on me. Do whatever you need.
You're just making this up.
Trust me. For your own daughter's sake. I don't know why, but for years I kept this in my parents' attic. Something told me that one day it would make sense to me. For years I had to live with the guilt that I killed Rupert. You wouldn't have anything to do with me. The police called it manslaughter. I got let off. But it lived inside me, Sean. Then one night you show up covered in mud with the other half of Rupert's notebook. And I knew where you'd been. And I knew I had a chance to make it all right again. But when I went back, you'd gone. Dissociative amnesia. Brought on by the most traumatic event you could imagine. Losing your daughter. The only thing you had in the world. Lost to the same fatal accident that once claimed your best friend's life. It's no wonder your mind couldn't cope. Once you'd made it back out of the portal, it probably went into shutdown mode, and that's where I found you.
It's too late.
Where that time tunnel leads to in 1989, she's still alive. The fact that you've got that on you must mean something. Come on, think back.
Can't you just leave me alone?
Fine. Suit yourself. Either way, you're grounded.
It never used to be like this.
greenstone Rupert had. I remember. This was the only thing of his that I had. To journey across the fabric of time, take the stone to the fifth arch and rewind. What if Rupert was right? What if this stone does unlock some kind of time travel portal? Oh, no. If I hadn't made this necklace, should have never disappeared to 1989.
The only question that matters now is how do we get back there? Dart. Give me the other half.
Viaduct!
Does that mean anything to you?
DNA of blood on a necklace in his pocket matches hers. What else do you want?
Jessica! The fifth arch! It's in Hampstead Heath!
We have all we need. A vicious attack recorded on video. Did you get what you want?
You set me up.
I told him to put the weapon down. He wouldn't listen.
Weapon?
Don't play with me. The one you've got in your jacket pocket. Tell him you won't use it.
Didn't you search him?
Of course.
He means me.
You didn't check the other guy as well?
Well, that's not how you brought him in here.
Are you that And you? A weapon?
Keep him up. You two! Back it up. Open the door. Get on your knees. You, open the door. Oh.
Dad! Dad, what is wrong with that?
I never quite worked out why Dad was so pleased to see me. Something seemed to come over him that night that changed him forever. He suddenly wasn't his usual overprotective self, but someone I had even more respect for. It was the strangest thing. One minute he was telling me I couldn't go out with Brett into the West End. And the next, he was offering me more money than I'd seen in ages. I didn't love him any less for letting me learn these lessons on my own. In fact, he'll never know it, but I couldn't have loved him more. Sure, I had grown up, but in a way he had too. In a way he didn't expect. There was one condition. The only thing Dad asked was that we go to a restaurant he'd picked out here in Hampstead. Brett had two presents for me that night. The first I liked. The second, not so much. We didn't need dessert, because then came the icing on the cake. Let's just say Brett didn't turn out to be who I'd hoped. I guess I should have seen that one coming. I'll never know why Dad paid for that expensive dinner, to be taken out by a guy he disliked so much. But at least we didn't have to go on the underground that night. That is, until I saw Dad running towards it. After all that, it was clear it was time to go back. Time to return to the portal in the pub, where we had exited just 1 week ago. Into this strange world they called the 80s. I did make one friend back in 1989.
It's not alright. I look from all the angles with the perfect height. I'd be in so much trouble if you were me, 'cause you've got the buttons and levers to my squeeze machine. There'll be no hope.
And through me, the guy who thought he was my brother ended up asking her out. Well, sure to say Madison followed her dream.
'cause you're the only thing I'll need.
She started out small, but before long she was making waves across the Atlantic.
Economics, there's no way I'm leaving you behind. There's no room now for my toothbrush, but clean teeth are
It didn't matter how big her name became. She stayed down to earth, and stayed, most importantly, my mum. 17 years ago, it wasn't just my dad entering the adoption clinic. It was my dad and mum to be. But you know what mattered most? It was that they still chose me.
'Cause you're the only thing I'll need. I hide you in my bag, 'cause you're the only thing. You're the only thing I'll need.
If anyone was ever going to find my dad, it would be Rupert. How he'd followed us down the time tunnel, I'll never know. Although the bigger question was where he'd been in between. But I had a feeling I was about to find out. Like I'd dreamt all my life. My dad hadn't left me. He'd just got lost. Lost in another time he couldn't get back from. And he needed saving. Much like the way Jessica had saved me.